Hello, hello, happy Friday. We made it through another week. Hi, Sandy. Welcome. Happy Friday to you. So glad you made it. I'm just going to give it a couple more minutes for people to join before we dive right into this layout this week. Hope you guys like this one. It's fun and colorful and bright, and we're going to do some mixed media. I think we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. Yeah. Hi, Katie. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Happy to have you. Just letting the others join in real quick. Just give it another minute before we jump in. Hope you guys had a good week. Any big plans for the weekend? We're at the end of July, which is absolutely crazy. We've got up here in Maine, it's like one more month of summer and then it starts cooling down. It's crazy. It's going by so fast. But we've been trying to enjoy it. Hope you guys have too. All right. Hi, Tina. Bringing in the admissions like a boss. Awesome. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So tonight, as you can tell, we're doing a beach layout. And so, hi, Donna. Welcome. I got my inspiration from Silhouette Design, the Silhouette store, the design store. So I know some people do a Cricut. Other people have a Silhouette or the Brother Scan and Cut. I happen to have a Silhouette. And sometimes when I'm not really sure what kind of layout to make, I'll go and just peruse the die cut or the cutout designs that they have, and it will spark inspiration. Hi, Wendy. Welcome. Happy Friday. And so that's exactly what I did for this layout. So I had these photos of my son. I haven't trimmed him up yet. We went to a beach a couple weekends ago. He was in full gear. He's such a silly kid. And I really wanted to scrapbook them. So I was trying to figure out, what kind of layout to do. So I went on a Silhouette store and I found this really awesome beach day die cut. So I've already pre-cut it, but I haven't put it together yet. So it's just kind of tossed together and give you a general idea of what it looks like. I also cut out like a pail and a snorkel set and a shovel. So we're going to have fun. Thank you, Wendy. We're going to have fun putting this together. But before we put the die cut together, we're actually going to do some mixed media in the background. So I'm going to move this off to the side, and we're going to start off with mixed media. So, do you all have die cut machines? Do you do a lot of die cuts on your machines? Honestly, I don't do them enough. I don't use my machine as much as I should. So but I use it mainly for stuff like this, for titles or words or images. But it's such a great machine, and there's so many beautiful designs out there. As long as you have patience to put them together, it's really worth it. Really, really worth it. Okay, so I have a clear piece of acetate. It's so easy. You get the machines, you use them at first, you get really excited, and then you just kind of forget about them. But I also have like a foil quill that I've used a handful of times, which I absolutely love, and I just don't think to pull it out. I'm not sure why. Maybe because it's not as like hands-on. I'm not sure. But hopefully this layout will inspire you guys to use it a little bit more. It did me. I got really like excited. I'm like, gosh, I really need to do this more. So, but anyways, I got a piece of acetate. You can buy these in 12 by 12 sheets. If you do not have acetate, you could use wax paper, you could use packaging, anything that has like a slick surface, you can use for this technique. I'm just reading the comments right here. I have an old Cricut and would love to have one for cut files. Yeah, the cut files, having them accessible digitally is really nice. And Sandy has an old circuit too on its last leg. Good for you though, Sandy. I mean, those cartridges were awesome in the day and they still are. So good for you. All right, so we are going to take this acetate, and I know it probably is going to be a little bit hard for you guys to see on my mat. And we're going to pick out some colors. And I picked out different shades of blue. I have a Lindy's Starburst spray, so this has like a little bit of a shimmer to it. I have a Dilutions, a darker blue that has a shimmer to it. And then I have a Heidi Swap Color Shine in a blue as well. And actually these all have shimmers to it and I didn't realize it. They don't need to have shimmers to it. If you do not have sprays, you can use watercolors. Or you can do this technique with ink pads. If you guys need me to show you how to do it with ink pads, I'd be happy to show you. So just let me know in the comments, and I'll show it to you. So you do not need to have. I'm shaking the table. I'm sorry. You do not need to have sprays to do this technique. So I have them, so I'm using them. So I'm going to give them all a good shake, and then so what we're going to do, we're just going to make some puddles of it on this acetate. I'm going to make some noise. Sorry, guys. And then we're going to smush our paper on it. And it's going to make this really cool design on our paper. And you'll see what I mean in a minute. Circuit expression, don't use it as much as I should. I keep it packed. There you go, Tina. Yeah, mine's over in the corner. I feel you there. But take it out. Have fun with it. It's even like if you don't feel like being creative, it's a really good thing to just, maybe if you're watching a show or something, to like just sit and cut out a bunch of pieces and then put them together while you're watching TV. So, all right. So I'm going to start off, well, I guess it doesn't really matter, with my Heidi Shine. And so I'm using this 12 by 12 kind of as like a guide. So I'm just going to make a pool of little daubs of color everywhere. No real rhyme or reason other than I'm just trying to mix them up. Alright, and I've got 3 different colors here. You're just trying to make little puddles. And when you do this technique, it's not going to look like much, okay? You're going to be like, oh, what did I just do? I made like this big, huge mess on my paper. I promise you when it's all done, it will look really good. That's the thing about mixed media. It's just, it kind of starts out and you're like a little unsure about it, you know? But it always makes a really great background in the end. All right, put some in there. And then I've got my darker blue. Again, just going in and kind of grouping them together, seeing where the colors are going to look nice. And I like to pick different shades to give it some nice variety. It'll look good like all mixed together. Alright. So now I'm just going to take my little water bottle here and I'm just going to do a light spritz over those. So they're going to move around just a little bit. And then we're going to take the cardstock and we're going to smush it down. You just use your hands, smush it around. And then we've got some blotches here. Now these are a little more concentrated than I want them to be, so we're going to go in and do it again. Okay? So again, we're just going to go in and we're kind of building up our background. Mixing them up. I want to make it a little bigger too. It looked a little too narrow, a little too small. This is not for the faint of heart. Oh, yes it is. You can do it. You just have fun with it. I promise you. When it's all done, you're going to love it. And it's super easy. Super easy, I promise. It doesn't look like much now, but that's just kind of how all mixed media starts. Just have fun. Pretend like you're a kid again in art class and just making a mess. That's what I always remember it as. Just making a big old mess. It's so fun. Alright, just getting some more colors on here. Oh, probably not. Alright. So I'm going to add a bit more water this time. And then I've got my little paintbrush here. And I'm going to actually just like smush them out a little bit, kind of start mixing them in together to make this really pretty, like, just water effect. You know, we're at the beach. That's kind of like the effect we're going for. Now, I'm going to try to get a little bit more of the light blue in here if I can. Alright, so now we're going to go back and we're going to smush on our paper again. Alright? I've been dabbling. Mine looks like a mess. It always will. And then when you put you layer all your pictures and your embellishments and everything on there, it always looks awesome. Alright, so here is our water, quote unquote. And I didn't use foundations paper, so my paper's a little flimsy. But this is our water. Isn't that cool? I think it is so neat. Alright, so let me get a paper towel and clean that up a little bit. And you could keep layering, you could keep adding other colors, the possibilities are endless with this technique. So, and it's really easy. You really can't go wrong with it. Alright. So, I do want to add a little bit more to this. So I've got my, where's my cup here? Got my water cup. I'll add a little bit of water. And I just I like to add some splatter to it, just to give it a little bit more depth and dimension. And so I've got my, let's see, I usually have like a little mixing plate, but I don't think I do. So I'm gonna bring my acetate back up. So I'm going to use the medium tone blue that I have. And again, I'm just going to put some on my acetate. Again, you can use this with watercolor too. So don't feel like you have to have the sprays. And I'm just going to get it nice and wet. And I'm going to go in. And I've got like a nice round brush. This is the Vicky Bouton paintbrushes, and I'm just adding some splatter all around, and it kind of looks like a wave is splashing. Hey, Mom! And again, it's just a little bit more visual interest, kind of like you're splashing in a pool or in a puddle or in the lake, or, you know, just that fun water effect, you know? And then you can go in and kind of add these in on top of like your smushed colors, and it will give a little bit of texture. So now I'm going to go back in and I'm going to add some of that darker blue too. And you don't need a lot. So when you do get this mixed media, it goes a really long way. A really long way. Alright, so back through with my darker blue. Again, we're just adding some more dimension. Just trying to make it look like it's splashing. That's kind of the look I'm going for here. And we're gonna need this to dry, so that's why while this is drying, we're gonna put together our die cut. So the last thing I wanted to try, which I haven't done, is I have some white dilution spray. And I just wanted to test it out and see how it looks on top of the blue. So we're gonna experiment together. I actually haven't even opened it yet. So this is white linen from Dilutions. It's an ink spray. And so what I was thinking is that I could do some splatters in the middle of the blue. So just give it a good shake here. Sorry for the noise, but you gotta shake the stuff up really good. All right, so let's just open this up. All right, have a lot of you bought the mixed media sprays, and do you use them? Or have you purchased them and haven't dared to play with them yet? Or have you not dabbled in mixed media at all? I'm just curious. I know there's been a few in the past who've just said they love the technique, but they haven't actually tried it yet. Would love to know, your experience with sprays and if you use them often. All right, so there's some white. I don't have any yet, Sandy says. Is it something that you want to try? Does it interest you? Like I said, watercolors, if you already own watercolors, is a good way to experiment because you kind of get a similar result. All right. Oh, yes, look. The white is coming in nice. It's going to be subtle, but that's okay. I didn't want it to overpower, but I just wanted to add a little bit more texture to that blue. Awesome. Cool, cool. I think once that dries a little bit more, it might even show up better. So, all right, we're gonna leave that like that, and we'll come back to this. Mom tried it a few days ago and she made a mess. Well, this, most people would probably think this is a mess too. But once we get everything layered, it's gonna look awesome. All right, so let me clean up my acetate here, and then we will put together this die cut. Sandy would love to try. Good for you, Sandy. It's quite addictive, so forewarn you. And then when all the new colors come out, you're like, oh, I must have that new color. I've refrained, but for the most part. But I do really like the couple of recent ones that Tim Holtz has come out with. There's like a campfire red, I think it is, or like an orangey color, which is just beautiful. And then I think like some sort of green, and like a forest green or an evergreen or something that's come out recently. And I'm like, ooh, I don't know, I might have to get them. They're really pretty. I really like them. All right. Katie has had them and play a little. I have to get bolder. Use a journal right now. That's a good way to start though, Katie. Good for you. I use them as flex for finishing touches. I need more practice. Good for you, Donna. Tina has 2. Gonna scrap lift a project that used them. Good for you. Hi, Fallon. Welcome. All right. So here's our little die cut here. And like I said, I haven't actually put this together. I just made sure I had all the pieces. So I took and cut out a bunch of all the parts in the different colors. And we're going to go ahead and put this together. I'm just going to use my Aleene's Tacky Glue to do so. It's my favorite way to put the die cuts together. And I was kind of looking for like a title. When I went on the Silhouette store, I was just kind of like, what would be a good title? I was thinking like Beach Boy would be kind of fun. So I just typed in the word beach. And then I just started looking through the different designs, and I found this one and I was like, oh my gosh, this one's perfect. It's super cute. It's got like the exact look I'm going for. I mean, basically all the work was already done for me, which was awesome. Thank you for those of you who contribute to designs on the Silhouette store. I appreciate it very much. So there's just layers and layers. And so you just go in and you glue everything together. And it's super cute when it's all done. And what I also did was I actually grabbed my close to my heart markers, like they're like a Copic style marker, and I thought it would be nice to, on some of these shapes, to give a little dimension, like the sun here. I have like this a yellow color that's kind of similar, and I thought it would be nice just to go in and just add like a little bit of a highlight on the side, just to give it a little dimension. Oh, my cat fell. Because sometimes the paper can be really flat. And so I thought it would be kind of nice just to shade it in a little bit. Again, you don't have to be an artist. I just kind of wanted to give it a little more dimension. And these are some dual tip markers that come from Close to My Heart. And so they have a wider side and a skinnier side, and they're kind of like Copic, so you can blend them. But I know what I just did kind of looks just like scribbles, but once you add the beach on top, it will just give that sun a little bit more depth, which is what I was looking for. All right. So then we have beach. And so originally it only had one color, just a single color for beach. And I decided to cut out two of them, and I was going to offset just slightly. Give it a little like shadow, kind of like that. So we're going to first put this one down. And just with some of the tacky glue. I feel like this helps makes everything stick down so much nicer. This bottle's coming near the end here. And I don't need a lot, which is nice. If you have one of those extra large like Xyrons, that might work too. I just find glue is just easier for me. I had one of those large Xyrons and I couldn't get it to work to save my life. I got so frustrated with it. So I gave up eventually. And it just stick to my glue. Alright. That little guy's not sticking down. Alright, so there's our first beach. And then there are these little pieces of wave that, oh, it's probably backwards, sneak up under the word beach, kind of at an angle. So I cut them out in the two different colors. Was kind of planning on layering them. And you know what? I just realized they're different shades. Well, bummer. Well, that's okay. Blue is blue, right? Alright. I don't know if I can make them work this way. Yeah, well, I could trim this off a little bit. And I could make that fit, I think. I just don't want the different blues. It just looks a little strange. I think the sign's gonna cover that. Alright, that will work. Okay, sorry guys, had to figure that out. talking to myself a little bit. How big do you usually cut your die cuts? Having a hard time deciding on that. Okay, a trick for that, Fallon, is I create my mat on my design. I use Silhouette Design Studio, so I make my mat a 12 by 12, and then so that way I know I'm making a 12 by 12 layout. And then if I know the size of my pictures, so you know, say you're using 4 by 6 or 3 by 4, or you know, whatever size your photos are, I'll make some squares or rectangles depending on the size of your photos, and I will place them on, you know, I'll kind of like mock up my layout, if that makes any sense, right there in Design Studio. And then I can take my title and I can kind of figure out what size I want it to be from there. That's how I do it. I just compare to my, kind of like mock up my layout is the best way to explain it. So they do come typically all in pieces, so I will put the pieces together like right there on the I will actually put the layout or the cut file together in the Studio Design, and then I'll size it however big I want it to be. It takes a little time, but I find like I don't get frustrated with making something too small because I'm kind of designing it you know, right there on the design space. Now as far as Cricut goes, I don't know if that design software is similar, so I can't speak for that, but for Silhouette, that's how I do it. And I've never had an issue with sizing. It's been very, very easy and it's worked well for me. All right. So there is our waves. So now we're going to add our other color, our other beach. Once you get that figured out, your possibilities are really endless. Again, just adding some glue. So these are a little bit of labor of love, as you can tell, but again, I think it's well worth it in the end. I really do. It really adds a lot to your layout. All right. So I think I'm gonna shadow it like that. Just a little shadow, nothing crazy. We're almost there. How cute, right? You're welcome, Fallon. The mock-up layout really is the way to go. Won't steer you wrong. Okay, so then this little guy, I think, fits right in here, if I recall. I'm pretty sure. But if not, that's where he's going. Very cute. Thank you. I thought it was so cute when I found it on the design store. I was just like, this is perfect. And what I think is so cool about these designs is the way that they layer the paper. It's just like this little wooden sign I'm going to make here in a minute. Like, it's just layering of different colors of paper, and it just comes out so cool. This is not... My fine line bottle isn't working. I've tried to add some water to the glue to see if that makes a difference, but I think I might need to add some more. Go back to my big bottle. Yeah, I saw this design and I just thought it was cute. And then, like I said, something so simple as this wooden sign, it just looks so neat. People are just so creative. They really are. And I mean, I have a graphic design major, so I do make my own sometimes, but Only when I'm in the mood. Most often, I take advantage of all the beautiful designs that others have already created. All right, there we go. So we're just gonna plop that on here, and it just looks like a weathered beach board. I just think it is so cute. I'm gonna add some more glue on the back. We're almost done. And it just this really just levels up your layout. These die cuts, or cut files, I should call them. All right. And there we go. All right. Beach Day. And this is the title. A very fitting one of the layout. So I'll give you guys a close look here in just a second. Just get my cap back on. And there is the finished product. Isn't that cute? And so we can go in and I can add a little bit more marker. I might do that later, but I'm going to leave it as is for now and see what it looks like on the layout. But I think this is so cute. I can't wait to get it all together. All right. So we are pretty dry. Yeah, we're good. And so now we're going to start putting this together. So my thought was to have the beach here and then add the photos up here. And I might, just because this is a little flimsy, I might add it to one more piece of cardstock. So let me do that. Just to make it a little more rigid, because that mixed media did weaken the paper a little bit. It will dry, but I just want to be safe. Just in case. There we go. All right. There, that feels a little better. Okay. All right. So we've got our little beach title that I think is going to go right here. Isn't that cute? See, now your mixed media is starting to come together with the rest of your layout, right? And then we've got the cute little photos. And I went with the colors that are actually in the photos here. So the blues, the oranges, and the yellows. So and I'm not sure which ones I'm going to use, so I just printed a full 4x6. Different sizes. I did like a little collage. Because I really just never know how I want to do it. I can't get over the goggles, you guys. Like, these pictures just crack me up. They really do. He's such a goober. He loved them, though, because he's like, I can go underwater, and he was having a blast that day. We had a really great time. I don't know if I want to fit this guy under there. Just kind of playing with photo placement. Oh, maybe something like that. Kind of giving that little arch look, following the title a little bit. All right, so next I did cut out some, like I said, a couple other little pieces, a little bucket and pail, some goggles, and a little snorkel. So I was gonna try to figure out where I wanted these to go. So I was thinking the bucket could go here, and so then I did cut out a little water to fit in there. And you know what I realized? This wasn't cut big enough, so I'll have to glue that in after, I think. But I might pop that up a little bit, so I'll put some foam on the back there. I have to do the same with these goggles. But I was thinking the goggles could go here with the little snorkel. Isn't this so cute? Oh, I love it. And then I've got the shovel that can kind of go by the pail. And I am keeping this very simple because of the mixed media, and then I thought I'd have some room for journaling if I wanted to do it. But this is kind of what I had in mind in regards to the layout. So I really love it. So I'm going to go ahead and start sticking some things down. What I think I am going to do though is I'm going to pop everything up on foam to give it a little dimension. So let me get my foam sheets here. And so remember, when you're adhering to mixed media, you have to use glue to stick everything down, because your tape runner, it will stick down in the short term, but it will not stick down long term. So you want to remember that. I actually think I might glue the foot. Well, no, I like them dimensional. I'm gonna pop everything up. I like that dimensional aspect. All right, so we're gonna start with the photos. Around tape here. I think the dimensional will look good in the end. All right. So what I'm using is just some fun foam that I get from Dollar Tree, and it's got adhesive on one side, and it's just foam on the other. Oh, so I'm actually going to tape the foam side to the back of the photo. And then the sticky side, I'm actually just going to add a little bit of glue to. It'll reinforce it, and then we'll be good to go. I've kind of watered down my Aleene's tacky glue there. All right. So it's just a slight dimension. It's not like really, really thick. So it just pops it up just a little bit. So you get a little bit of dimension off of the background. All right, I think I want to tuck that one under there. I might lay him flat actually, and then pop up the little guy. Let's do that. I really like the combination of the orange and the blue too. Colors that I normally wouldn't scrap, gravitate towards, but I just think they're so vibrant on the in the photos that it was just a scheme I wanted to carry through the entire look. for this little guy, I can do little foam dots and add some glue there. I love the mask and the snorkel. I know, it was so cute. I actually, like I said, I was, I searched beach and those came up and I was like, perfect. I just love it when you find like the perfect, you know, embellishment or cut file or whatever you're looking for. It just fits perfectly. And I actually don't have a lot of beach embellishments, so I was actually, it was really good that I went the silhouette route because I could make my own. So I'm definitely thankful for that, because I don't have a lot. I mean, I have like ocean and a little more like sophisticated embellishments, but I didn't have anything like, you know, kid related, child related. All right. So now we're gonna pop up the beach here. I just love how those slats worked out so well. So cute, you guys. So, so cute. All right. Are Wyatt's arm floats orange? They're yellow and orange. So that's where I got the color scheme from. I got like this little, they have like little, I think it's a pineapple that's on it. I'm not sure. He usually uses a swim belt, but we leave that at my mother-in-law's house, so we didn't have anything on hand when we decided to go to the beach. So we just stopped by, I think it was Dollar General, and just picked up some arm floaties, and he had a blast with them. And the beach we went to, it was for an adult, it was only like thigh high maybe, out for like a really long way. So it didn't get deep at all, which was perfect for him. It was just the perfect little beach. We definitely want to go back. It was so fun. It wasn't overcrowded. It was like one of those little beaches that not everybody knows about, which was nice. Kind of a local spot. And so it was nice sandy. It's called like, I think Taylor Pond, but it looked like a lake. But I don't know what size a body of water has to be a lake, but it was just really nice. Sandy beach, sandy swimming. It was great. All right. So there's the title on there. So cute, guys. So cute. All right. Just making sure it sticks. And this is the quick dry, so it doesn't take long. All right. So now we've got the little bucket, which I am going to do, again, some foam squares, and I'm going to be a little tricky here, and I'm actually going to put them through like the little peep windows, so then my blue water will fit right on top of that. You won't even know. So I just did the foam squares right in the water, and now it sticks just perfectly. Pop this up. Alright, my paper's still curling a little bit from that mixed media. So yeah, this was really fun. I love it when an idea comes together. I really do. I want the bucket to overlap. And this title was the photos really were the inspiration, but the title really pulled it all together for me. I just love when that happens. I really do. It's great. Alright, here's my little shovel. I think I'm going to keep the shovel flat. And then I'm actually going to add a little marker and add some dimension to this shovel. And get it adhered down, and then we'll add some dimension to it. I might do the same for the bucket too. Little shovel right there. And then our little snorkel gear. It's so cute. It just cracks me up. All right, his face. So I think I'm gonna keep the little snorkel part flat, but I think I'm gonna bump up the glasses. So we'll glue this down first. Oh, that's working so much better. So I watered down my glue so it would flow through the fine line bottle better, and it did. It made a big difference. Thank goodness, because I was getting really frustrated with the glue not working. All right, now I'm going to do that same little foam square trick with the goggles. If I can. So I'm adding those little foam squares, and then I'm going in and adding the insides. I wasn't thinking when I cut these out, so normally I would add a little bit of extra to the inside pieces so I would have somewhere to adhere it to, but I wasn't thinking. So yeah, Donna, I watered down the glue because I was having a really hard, the glue I wasn't going through my fine line bottle, so it helps it flow and it doesn't clog. So I just literally put a little bit of water, shook it around really good, and it seems to be working really well. And I got that tip from somewhere else. I really don't recall where, but somebody else had done it, and I was like, oh, that's a really good idea. So I've given it a whirl. So far so good, but I'll let you guys know in the long term how it works. Okay, so we have all our pieces in place. So now I just want to add, like I said, I want to add a little bit of dimension to my die cuts because they're a little flat. I mean, they're cute, but they're just a little flat. So I've got my little bucket here with my handle. So I'm just going to add some like shade lines. Again, just to give it a little dimension so you kind of know. It's a little visual. Just gives it that little bit extra. Kind of just think about where the sun might hit it. Helps it pop a little bit more. I'm going to do the same for a little snorkel set here. It's such a simple little thing, but it really does make a big difference in your die cut. There. Probably hard to see really far away, but I'll give you guys a close-up so you can see it a little better. All right, now we just got to do our shovel. And we, I think, are going to be done with this layout. It's kind of the same thing, just adding some dimension. And I think we're going to call this layout done, everybody. So let me give it a close up here. Isn't this adorable? We got the little die cuts, the title that's cut out, the mixed media in the background here. How cute, right? And really simple. We made our own embellishments. We made our own background paper. And we have this fun, beachy layout. So I hope you guys liked it. I hope you give this technique a try. I hope you bring out your cutting machines and cut out some die cuts, cut out some files, cut out some tiles, cut out some embellishments, and have fun with them. And then dabble in some mixed media too. Obviously, always really fun. I hope you guys liked it. Thank you so much for joining me tonight as always. I appreciate you all. If you do give this a whirl or something different, make sure to share your layouts over on Jessica Grace and Friends Pretty Pages Facebook group. Love seeing all your beautiful layouts and your cards. You guys are just so talented. I love it. I love it. So thanks all again, and you have a great night. I'll see you next week. Bye.